Hello, welcome to the Two Chicks Homestead podcast. We are the two chicks. Yay!
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Aaron, and we talk about homesteading and living on a small piece of land.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 93, April 17th, 2024.
Spring, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely spring.
It was 80 this
I know.
weekend.
Yeah, and it's... The girls are now out and running around and being crazy, and one of them came home with a little bit of a fever yesterday.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, like almost like a heat fever or
Yeah.
something.
So, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on her,
Yep.
give her some Tylenol, get her hydrated, have her take a nice cold shower.
Yeah, she's eating ice cream, so she's not like on deathbed.
No. So, it's obviously something small because she is continually stuffing her face.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
So, feed a cold, starve a flu, that's always what I hear.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working out pretty good.
Yep.
So, but figure we'd get a little bit of an update. I, over the weekend, got the composting outhouse done. Mm-hmm. So it's built, it's usable. All that's left is caulk some seams and paint.
Yeah, and then, get the shavings in there.
Yeah.
And make sure everybody knows how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people in the community that do know how to use them,
Yeah.
but we do have some people who are not familiar with it coming.
Right, like our neighbor's friends who
Yes.
will be over, so we need to make sure he understands and then tells them, here's the instructions.
Yep.
So
We'll have to get some instructions. We'll figure out how to maybe put them in a plastic bag in there or
yeah,
something.
I'm sure I can figure out something. Or I might have to just buckle down and buy a laminator.
I have told you that numerous times. Go buy a laminator.
I know. I don't think I'm really a homeschool mom unless I have a laminator.
Go buy a laminator.
Then it's real, and that might be too much.
Go buy a laminator. I've told you that like 4 years now. Go buy a laminator.
Laminating everything.
You start laminating all the recipes upstairs. That would be a big plus.
That would actually be kind of cool. And also that might be too much.
No. Because then you can use them.
Yeah, but they're already in, like, paper protectors.
I know, but then you could use them and you're not worried about them getting wet.
Well, that's why they're in the paper protectors.
I know, but those paper protectors don't always last forever. A laminated sheet
I know,
of
but
paper.
they fit in my binder, which I need a new binder because it's exploding.
Yeah. You've had that binder a long time.
Well, once the recipes that I really loved were no longer available on the websites that they were on, it was like, I gotta print these out.
Yep.
Because then I go back and it's like, oh, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I'm just being a prepper, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. At least have
Right.
everything on paper. You're good to go. So, definitely makes sense.
Yep.
So, well, speaking of prepping, the composting outhouse
Yes.
is done.
Yes.
We now can go potty somewhere.
Yes.
And not have an issue when we lose water in
Yeah.
town, because that seems to be happening frequently.
Yep.
So that was our big project last weekend, and then the girls helped a little bit with it, and then we took them out for ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the first time having ice cream in a while
Yeah.
at our local place.
Yeah.
So they're pretty happy about that. And then I think you got some seeds going.
Yeah, so my ongoing seed saga. So I had bought these little net pots.
The
little
pucks.
pucks.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because they're like super easy to use. You don't need to have one of those plastic things. And so I did all of my seeds in that. I had a pumpkin seed pop up, which I know you're not really supposed to do those ahead of time, but I was just... I'd made too many.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw them away.
Right.
So I just started sticking seeds in there. One pumpkin popped up, and one marigold popped up. Mm-hmm. So out of all of the tomatoes, all of the vegetable plants, nothing.
And what'd you do, like 70? 50 at least.
50, yeah. So it's like, okay, great. So I threw them away because nothing was coming.
Yep.
And maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it's too late now.
Yeah.
But so then I just went and got more of the seed starter mix that you add the water to it and it turns into dirt.
Yeah.
And now I've redone everything again. So
well, and I sent you out of the house at like 6 o'clock Saturday night to go do that.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, I don't have enough to do it because I've had the same bag for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And so Rural King had them for cheaper than I thought it would be. Yeah.
Because you were seeing the same bag on Amazon for like $80.
I know, it was insane on Amazon. So I went and grabbed some and redid them all.
Yep.
So at least we have peppers. Because last year none of my peppers came up. So at least now I've got the spicy peppers I want to make hot sauce with.
Yeah. So you did what, about 6 flats of those?
Of peppers?
No, just like 6 flats of seeds, basically. Like the compartments?
Yeah, like 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are those things, like 5 by 5?
Yeah, there's 3 by 6.
Okay.
So, not too... I mean, I don't usually go too crazy.
There's still a lot.
So, I did tomatoes and did a bunch of onions, cabbage, some eggplants. I'm trying passion flower again. I don't know what else. Some marigolds again, just because I like having those out there for the bees.
Cool. See if these pop up.
Yeah.
We did have some success with the pucks. So some
all
stuff
the peppers,
popped up.
I mean, I think 2 out of the 8 peppers I planted didn't come up.
Yeah, and then our herbs
and
popped
all
up.
the herbs pop up. Yeah,
So, I mean, that's...
I don't know.
I think they might have been a little too wet.
And then
the other ones were a little too dry.
I don't know.
Once they started.
I don't know.
It's always fun.
It's always... Because I, years ago, would buy this kind of dirt. Maybe even it wasn't even the fancy that you add the water to it. Like, it was dirt. But it was seed starter dirt. Plop it in those plastic things, put a seed in there, put my little sign, and put it on the dining room table or whatever by the window, and spritz it. And it, like, blew up. And now it's like, oh, I've got the lights. Oh, I have the heating things. Oh, I've got whatever else. And now nothing works. So.
Yeah. Well, I think if any of this stuff pops up in the seed starting dirt, we're just going to stick with that.
I know, yeah. I mean, I liked the pucks because it was, I mean, a lot for a small amount of space. But yeah, and then trying to get the nets off when the roots went through the bottom is a pain in the ass. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think they're for me.
That's all right. You tried them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, hopefully...
Some people swear by them.
I know.
We'll try them.
And it's hard because what works for one person doesn't work for the other person, and there's nothing wrong. It just, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
I know.
Keep trying things until it actually works, and then stick with that.
Yeah. Well, but then even so, for some reason I changed things up. Maybe because I was learning more and went, oh, I don't do that. Yeah. And then I start doing other stuff, and then it's like...
It didn't work.
Yeah. So if you're doing something that works, it doesn't matter what somebody else is doing.
Exactly.
Just keep doing it.
You don't need to listen to everybody who tells you everything.
Yeah, it's information overload out there, and sometimes you start doubting what you're doing, even though it's working. But someone might go, I can't believe you're doing it that way. Yeah. Well,
my theory is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I know. I know. But I think deep down in our brain, we go, if it's working this well, not doing anything, think of how it's going to work. If you do more, it's going to be better, right?
Yeah. One would think.
Yeah, it's not. So, that's the thing. So, there's always backup plans. There's places locally that sell plants. If I ever get to that point again, like last year, so
yeah, and the stuff last year did awesome. So
yeah,
who knows?
Actually, I will admit that the stuff I bought last year did better than any of the seeds that I've ever started. Yeah. So then, of course, I had run out of a lot of the tomatoes I wanted to plant because I already did those. So yeah, we'll have a lot of cherry tomatoes.
The girls will eat them.
Yeah.
They can just sit out there and just pick them off the plants and eat them.
Yeah, and actually they were super easy to freeze dry too. So.
Yeah. There you go. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
What else you got over there?
And I did not plant 5 plants of eggplants.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we only need like one.
Where you don't need to have eggplant parmesan.
Yeah.
4 nights a week.
No. I like eggplant parmesan. I can have it once, and I'm good for a year. Thank you.
Well, I have bad news for you. It's going to be a little bit more than that, but not as much as last year.
I will make sure those eggplant plants don't grow. Chicken parmesan is the only parmesan.
Yeah, but eggplant parmesan is so much easier.
Eggplant parmesan is what you had. What you were eating when we were trying to get the oldest or youngest.
Yeah, that was one of those things that was supposed to make you go into labor.
Yeah.
And so I got it from Olive Garden when my youngest would not come out, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
She still had to be evicted, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think mine is just as good as Olive Garden. You can't compare.
I will take your word on it because I don't eat it.
So,
I will admit I've had the stuff that you make and it is pretty good, but I want the chicken.
So now that I've found different ways to debone rabbit, I think rabbit would be really good to try.
Yeah.
At rabbit parmesan.
Yeah.
Because it's already thin.
Mm-hmm. That might be good.
So I'm really looking forward to working on my deboning skills now that I saw Eliza from Sunstone.
Yeah.
Is that the one who did that group? Showing easier ways. Because it took me a while.
Yeah. Call's Kitchen on Facebook is the name of the group.
Yeah.
And that's got a whole bunch of recipes.
It's just recipes and just information on
processing.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's super helpful group. It'll be nice to poke around in.
Yeah.
So, try some different stuff.
Yeah, because I really like a lot of the stuff I made, like that orange rabbit.
That was good.
That was delicious. So, but it'd be nice to debone them quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need like 2 rabbits to make orange chicken or orange rabbit.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like a tease.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good.
We'll have to keep that in mind.
Yep.
So
our fridge in the kitchen is broken.
Yes.
We're assuming it's the compressor.
Yes.
It's not cooling. Found out this morning when I took waffles out and went to go do something for a couple minutes, came back and I was like, wow, these really thawed fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to go check the freezer and they weren't like thawed, but they were definitely squishy.
They just...
Yeah.
Like it went out last night.
Yeah. So, luckily, again, you like hearing that I say that I'm glad we got them. But the 2 fridge and freezers in the garage that do the switches.
Yep.
Or, you can switch it
the insignias that we bought.
Yeah. Came in super helpful today as I was able to move all the fridge stuff to that fridge. Because we pretty much had that fridge empty. Except for a couple
drinks and
So, and then I had room to move all the freezer stuff and everything, all the meat and everything was still frozen solid, so I didn't lose anything.
Yeah, it was perfect time to get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, that couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, I'm glad it was on a day that it was nice out and not thunderstorming like it's supposed to the rest of the week, so.
Right.
To be moving food out there.
But I remember that, and I'm not poking it at you that you were complaining about buying both of them, because I understand it was a
lot
big
of money.
purchase.
It was, yeah.
Those things were $800 a piece.
Yeah.
And I remember you hemming and hawing, and I'm like, you just never know.
I know, yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
And here we are 6 months later, loading one of them up because our $2,800 LG fridge kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
So now we need to get a repair person here, get the parts on order. We are well aware that LG has an issue. Mm-hmm. Like, there is a class action lawsuit going on right now.
Yeah.
It should be under warranty. We've had it for 7 years. It's got a 10-year warranty on it. I can pull up Best Buy when we bought it and when it was delivered. Yeah. So we're just going to go through with it. And
yeah. I mean, I've never had an appliance repaired before. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, when our dishwasher went out, we just bought a new dishwasher.
Right, but you're talking a $500 dishwasher.
I know, but even just thinking back, like, all the fridges we've owned, they never broke. We never had to...
We've never been in a house long enough.
Well, I know. But, I mean, it was funny to think, like, I've never had a repairman come in and fix an appliance. We've always just...
Yeah. So, the amount of time that we've lived in this house, we would have already moved 3 times had it been other houses.
Yeah, because we were moving every 3 years or so.
2 years.
No, I thought it was 3.
No, it was every 2 years.
Well, maybe 2.5 then.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been here the longest.
Yeah. So this is the longest we've had any set of appliances. And the washing machine the dishwasher, we didn't change that out when we moved in. We left that.
And the stove is original too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that stove has got to be from the 80s.
I don't know. It doesn't look that old.
Okay, mid-90s?
Maybe. I don't know.
So, it's a glass top.
It's a glass top.
Yeah.
So, it's not even like the coils.
Yeah, it could be. But either way, I mean, that's a 220 electric.
Yeah, I would even in the 2000s.
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can find a date on it. But that thing works great.
Yeah.
But usually when we move into a place, the first thing we do is replace the appliances.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we even did that at the last house. I know we did that the first house because we gutted it. Did we?
Yeah, Bolingbrook. I remember him coming in with that big freezer or the big refrigerator because it was the little single door.
Oh, well, that's how this one was.
Yeah, because we moved that one down into the basement.
Oh, that's right.
And then we got the double door.
Yeah.
French door.
That's right. The full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was half and half.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that now.
And then we got the double door.
Yeah, because you had just redone the floor, and you pulled the fridge out, and there was a big rip.
Yep.
So yeah, going back to praising your choice of purchasing the.
Yeah, I mean it's
out in the garage.
Think about stuff long term. If you can swing it in your budget, sometimes it's nice to have a spare.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an $800 spare.
And the fridge, too. I mean, everybody talks about having a million freezers. But if we didn't have an extra fridge, that'd be kind of a big deal.
Right. So the day this episode drops is the day our fridge, the repair person is coming to look at the fridge.
I mean, he already knows pretty much what it is.
Legally, he has to come over here, look at it, test it, find out for sure that's exactly what it is. Then we have to call LG, get the parts, fight with them on the warranty. So it could be another week. Yeah,
he said 7 to 10 days. The soonest he's done recently is 5 days.
Yeah. So we're at least a week out from having the fridge fixed.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of nice. I mean, obviously I was panicking because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we have everything covered. So I have to go out into the garage and get milk. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Right. And it keeps the girls out of the fridge, honestly. It's not right there for them to go rummaging around.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what else can we use that space for? We could use some shelves.
Don't tempt me, I'll do it.
Like when we almost didn't put a new dishwasher in and use that for storage.
Yeah.
I probably would have kicked myself in the end, but...
Hey, you would have kicked something. It probably would have been me.
Why'd you let me do that?
Or the cat.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's life.
Yep. Shit happens. It's the first time an appliance is broke on us.
Yeah. And actually, I needed to clean out the fridge.
Yeah.
So I threw... And luckily, it was garbage day.
Yeah.
So I just took it right out. The garbage man hadn't come yet.
There you go.
Threw it right in the can.
Yeah, because that was 7:30, 8 o'clock you called me on that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's been a week.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. Well, there's always long weeks.
Yep.
Especially when you get to have discussions with your kids.
Yes.
So we're going to jump into the main topic on this one. Sorry about the delay, but we've got a fun little episode that got brought up in one of the chats.
Yeah. So our kids are 10, almost 11.
Yes.
And 7.
Mm-hmm.
And they are social butterflies.
Yes.
And they are best friends whether you talk to them for 5 seconds or their entire lives.
Yep.
Like, everyone is their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest, or our oldest, really likes to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, about everything.
Yeah. I made the joke years ago when our youngest was going through speech therapy. We're trying to teach one to talk and one to shut up.
Yeah. She talks a lot. And likes to talk about just everything that we do.
Yeah. Which, more power to her.
Yeah. I mean, she's done a rabbit. I mean, there was a bunch of burly guys here, and I don't know, 10 people here that one time.
And she did the rabbit class.
She stood up there and talked about the rabbits. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, she can talk when she wants to, and she can talk when she shouldn't.
Well, when she... yeah.
So, but we're going to go over some stuff that we've talked with the kids about ever since we got started homesteading.
Yeah.
So it's not just this one thing. There's been a lot of stuff that we've talked about. And I know the biggest one was explaining to the kids every morning we now have the chickens here. So when we first got the chickens, we told them flat out, we don't know what we're going to find. So you need to be prepared for anything every morning you walk out there.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that paid off. I mean, every morning I'd say the same thing for, I don't even know how long. But just, okay, we're going to go let the chickens out. We don't know what we're going to find. You know, trying to tell them that there are predators out there. Yeah. And things just happen.
We've had 2 die.
And, and I mean, one of them, its whole scalp was gone. You know, so I mean, it's running around.
Yeah.
Bleeding.
Yeah. Throw me snacks. Yeah. I'm fine.
So, I mean, it's always a shock. And I want to say that it was probably me pepping myself up. Or,
yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like, just going like, okay, anything can happen. It's fine. And now I don't really think about it. And then I'm sure something will happen soon and I'll be shocked. But
right. And then we get into... we're going to have these animals and we're going to process these animals. And that was the rabbits when we first initially got them.
And the chickens, too. Didn't we process chickens before rabbits?
So we got the rabbits because we couldn't find the chickens. And then we got the chickens before we could breed the rabbits.
Right. Because I think we had, I mean, our first flock of chickens, we named them.
Yes. Yeah.
We told them these are not turning into food. This is just layers.
And then we wanted to turn them into food and everybody cried.
Well, I mean, they did go to my brother's farm.
Yes. But right off the bat, we explained how the rabbits were going to work. And then we got the meat birds. And then we went to go process the meat birds, and the girls weren't anywhere to be found. Like, we had to have your parents over here.
Yeah.
That day.
Well, I think also it was just us doing it for the first time. That it was like, sometimes we just need to concentrate, and we can't concentrate.
Right. So they didn't even want to be involved with any of this stuff. So we processed the birds. We explained what we're doing with them. These guys are going to be here for 8 weeks, and then they're going to end up in the freezer.
Yeah.
And you guys can go inside and not worry about that. So we had that discussion with them, and then we get into breeding the rabbits and the birds and the bees.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it definitely helped.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my oldest has gotten to the age where she has definitely asked where babies come from. And it's like, well, let's go look at the bunnies and, you know, kind of talk about this.
And here's the boys, here's the girls. You put them together and they have these.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we don't do it like cartoonish or anything, but...
Right.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
With that.
And they were so worried about the rabbits right off the bat because they were worried we were going to eat the breeders.
Right.
Which is everybody's comment.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to eat the breeders. No, we're not. The breeders
and we haven't. We haven't.
So...
I mean, now there's so many out there that... I mean, when we first had our trio, like, they each had their bunny. And then, I think when Carrot Cake... We called Carrot Cake. We gave her a choice. Like, do you want to eat her? Or do you not? And she didn't.
Yeah. So we ended up...
I think we kept the feet.
Yeah, we kept the feet, we kept the hide, and I think we disposed of the rest.
Yeah. Gave them to the coyotes or something.
Yeah. She still has the feet. I don't think we have the hide anymore because we threw all the hides out.
Yeah.
Which is not the end of the world. She's at least got the feet. And I think the feet are on your keychain for your truck.
I don't know.
They're on the extra set of keys for that. So she's got those to hold.
Yep.
She'll always remember that being the first bunny.
Yeah.
And now she's got a bunch out there to go play with.
Yeah, I mean, we've had to call some other ones that they were upset about because they were super cute and friendly.
Yeah.
But they just didn't work
for
what we wanted.
Yeah, those ones, that was a hard sell.
Yeah.
That was probably the most difficult thing we've had to do.
Because there was nothing wrong with them. They were just super small.
Right. And they weren't friendly.
Yeah.
So we couldn't hand them off to go be pets somewhere because we don't handle the rabbits that often.
Yep.
I still get scratched to high hell when I go to pick up babies.
Yeah.
I mean, I posted a picture in one of the chats today. My hand is all cut up.
Yeah.
From picking one up yesterday.
And it's funny because the babies will take on the mom's personality. Like Mary Hoppins is super friendly. You can open up the cage and she just wants her ears scratched. And her babies are always
right
up
there.
front.
Oh, yeah.
But Gracie, who isn't not friendly, but usually isn't like right there, all her babies are hiding.
Yeah.
And same with Coco. Judy's are kind of in between. So it's kind of funny to see that they react the same way as Mom. Right.
So it's goofy that way. And then the next one was the hog.
Yes.
When we first did the hog.
Yeah.
So we bring home this 210-pound cut in half hog, and both the girls go up with us to get it.
Yeah.
And they look at it, and the oldest immediately, as soon as we get home, inside the house, I don't even want to see it.
Yep.
I don't want to be near it.
And there was no blood, like it's already drained.
And the youngest is out in the chair eating popcorn, watching us process a hog.
Yeah.
And it was 95 degrees out that day.
That was fun.
That was a mistake.
But then we've done 4 of them now.
Yeah.
And every time they want to be more involved. Like the oldest, I think, did a ton of cutting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
she the ground.
This last one, she helped me get the loin out.
Yeah.
So she was actually working with the knife and the actual carcass of it to get some cuts of meat off.
Yeah.
And she was doing awesome.
Yeah.
And then she cubed up, I don't know, 25, 30 pounds for you to grind.
Yeah. And then my little one kind of helped bag it. I remember doing the vacuum sealer and doing
That's her favorite thing. She used to push the button.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's been really interesting to see how they've changed because seeing how the little one kind of grew up this way, and the older one was 6.
Yeah,
when we got into it.
Yeah,
5 years ago?
maybe 5 years old.
Yeah. So to see how she was kind of like, what is happening? You know, like this isn't normal. And then now it kind of is. Now we kind of have to. So this kind of came about because they are playing more with people in the neighborhood, and we people know in the neighborhood things that we do because they're interested in them. And so there have been a couple times where they've moved since, but there were some boys over here and the oldest one's going, okay, yeah, and then we eat these ones. And they were like, you what? So I had to go over and talk to the mom and be like, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, and and it's funny too because like they would come over and we'd have the syrup buckets, and we'd have to like explain how syrup is made.
Yep.
And it's funny to see our kids be like, it comes out of the tree and we boil it, like, you know, and they're like, really, you know. So it's just kind of funny to see the different.
Well, I mean, you also have the friend who's 30-something years old that thought eggs came from cows because it's in the dairy section.
I mean, some people can't be helped. So, but yeah, I mean, it's super interesting to think about, like, we're all in the same neighborhood.
Right.
And how different
The
lives
mentality
can
is,
be
yeah.
of people that don't do it, which isn't bad, and that people that do it.
Right. So the discussion that and I never thought I'd have to have this discussion with a 10-year-old. Don't talk about the rabbits to kids you don't know.
Right.
That haven't been here.
So it started with, they were playing with a girlfriend in town, like just up the street, that they play with a lot. They know what we do.
Yep. They love it. They're over here all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we've given them a rabbit, you know, to cook. And there was a kid there that we didn't know who he was.
Right.
And the little girl wanted to come see the baby bunnies. And then right away it's like, well, and, you know, I'm terrible at telling stories.
It's all right, go ahead.
So my oldest was like, oh, can they come over? I'm like, well, who are they? Oh, well, you know, so-and-so and this kid that's here. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
We can't just have random kids.
Over. Right.
And so it was like a huge discussion. I'm like, well, why? You know, she really wants to see. I'm like, well, they're not going anywhere for a little while.
Right. And the next day she came over.
Yeah.
But it's having to explain to your kid that, and I can't believe we're even talking about this, or we even had to have this discussion, that we're concerned if you tell the wrong person you have these in your backyard, that they're going to try and air quote rescue them, and they'll just show up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you just don't know what that kid is going back and telling somebody, and who that person is telling, and yeah, I don't know. It just felt weird.
Right. So it's trying to explain to them where I don't mind if you talk about it, but careful who you talk to.
And also making it not sound like what we're doing is wrong.
Right.
It's just different thoughts on it.
Yeah. So, you know, the thing is, yes, we raise rabbits. And usually if somebody asks that, I leave it at that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There are some people, like at my job, we had somebody who had a pet rabbit that I said, you know, we raise rabbits, and I would always give her a hard time when I would bring it in.
Yeah, there's certain... Yeah.
Do you want to try some rabbit?
You know that you could tease and stuff. But.
So, and she'd always complain about the rabbit, and I'd say, hey, I'll just bring it home, we'll cook it up, and I can bring it in for you the next day. But it's making sure the kids kind of understand that you can talk about some stuff, but you have to be very careful who you talk to about it.
Yeah.
Which we are very careful with who we talk to about a lot of this stuff.
And anybody that's really in our backyard, we already have kind of had some kind of relationship with, and we know that they're kind of okay with it. Right,
absolutely. Like, our yard stops at our garage, basically.
Right.
They see the chickens. And
the chickens are not so uncommon.
Right. And then
a lot of people have chickens.
We'll kind of suss it out with the chickens. And then if we end up actually going in the backyard and they see the rabbits, then we'll discuss the rabbits.
Yeah.
So, like, the chickens are, here's the gateway drug, and here's the real drug.
I mean, you can kind of tell people that are homesteading friendly, maybe not necessarily doing much with it, but are interested in it, versus the people that are just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this couple, I mean, they go hunting and fishing and all this kind of outdoorsy stuff, so it was just kind of like a nice transition of, well, we also do this. And
and we helped him try and get the fox that got one of his chickens over the winter, so we just kind of never really thought that we'd be having this discussion with the kids.
Well, you know, when you have a baby, you don't think.
Right.
You know, all you're told is how hard having a baby is. That's like the easiest part.
Yeah.
Then you get into where they're like an actual human being, and you have to, like, you know, rein them in a little bit.
Right. And show them, as another person in one of the groups, actually Amy put it, I'm sorry you had to show your kids that people can be people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell them about people being jerks without sounding like a jerk.
Right. Yeah.
and telling them, well, you should try to accept everyone out there, but there are going to be people that you just don't have to.
Accept you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're okay. You can walk away from those people.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, it's that's been kind of the roundabout what we've done with the kids.
Yeah.
So.
You did forget about the hopper popper.
Oh yes, the hopper. All right, so was it last time we did birds? We've done Cornish crosses twice.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I think
So our youngest was out there with us because she'll do anything with us. She'll just chill and hang out. So we use the hopper popper to call meat birds. The first batch that we did it with a sharp knife, kill cone. I hated it. Like holding the head down and getting that cut just right and making sure it comes off clean. I didn't like it. Hopper popper's real easy.
The only issue was we would put it in the bucket and the wings broke.
Yeah. So I think I need to figure something else out with that.
And I think someone else said that they just kind of hold them.
Yeah. So we may try that. The big blue manure barrels that we have.
Like the garden
things?
Yeah.
We'll probably just fill a little of that with the
straw
and then just hold it over the top of them.
Yeah.
That might work. We'll try it when we process the layers.
Yeah.
So, but the hopper popper is really nice. So it's the dispatch tool that we use for the rabbits. And it's a V that you hold the rabbit by the back feet, you slide their head down the V to where it meets, and then you pull real back hard on the rear legs, and it instantly snaps their neck. While with a chicken, it instantly removes the head, which works really good.
Pretty 100% chance that they don't make
yes. It is 100% chance because the head stays there and the rest of the chicken comes with you. So we were able to figure that out. And it's like, that's what I do. So as I go to process the birds, there's a head hanging in the hopper popper and it's stuck there because it didn't fall down in the bucket. So jokingly, I said, we're sitting there cleaning up everything after the day, and I jokingly said to the oldest, if you go get the head off the hopper popper, I'll take you guys for ice cream. Sure as shit, she goes over.
It took her 20 minutes, though, to really work up to it.
Yeah, and I think that was the turning moment. But we bribed her to go grab the head off the hopper popper and throw it in the bucket. And she is deathly afraid of blood. So we were parents of the year. Yes. It's, just the shit you see parenting.
But you know what? It worked. I mean, she did it, and...
Yeah. She got ice cream, and and that's honestly, I think that was the turning point to when she would come outside.
This is not as scary as I thought.
Right. So, and we didn't force her.
No, she was probably going to get ice cream no matter what.
Yeah. Because they didn't bug us all day.
Right. Yeah. It was just more like, just go do that.
Yeah.
Just go try it. It wasn't like,
Yeah, because the youngest, you don't have to bribe her for anything. She'll do it right away. But the oldest, it took a little bit, and it took her 15, 20 minutes to actually go do it.
Yeah.
And I just let it sit there while we clean up and, just do its own thing.
But yeah, I mean, she didn't end up crying. We didn't, hold it over her head or anything.
No.
But,
so, it was her decision, and then we got ice cream.
Yeah.
And then I will be very interested to see if she processes a rabbit this year.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even think I've done it.
I think you should probably do at least one this year.
Do one.
Because I've done a chicken. I think you should do a rabbit.
I will do the processing, not the culling. Okay. I don't know if I can do that yet. I've done one chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done more because I'm usually the one, because I have a pretty solid stomach.
Yeah.
I've always been the one to call because I can handle that.
Yeah.
Unless you get a kid that screams.
Yeah.
And then I am a mess.
Yeah.
So most of the time it's me doing it. I know you did it once. I know when we did our workshop, we had people doing it. Mm-hmm. It's not easy.
No.
But it's got to be done.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the one nice thing about the Hopper Popper, going back to that with the chickens, was I remember the first batch of chickens, we got to the last one, and the knife wasn't sharp enough.
Yes.
And it took a few times, and it was just like, thank God that was the last one, because it was a lot. Yeah. And at least the Hopper Popper, it's going to work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it honestly, it doesn't take much to do it.
Yeah.
So there's more oomph in a rabbit than there is in a chicken. Yeah. Like if you pull too hard, it's gonna make
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, but we'll be doing them. We'll be doing the layers. Yeah. We're not doing meat birds this year, but
no, we'll do the layers because we bought our meat birds from Sorrell's. Yeah. This year.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Me too. I can't wait to try those. But we'll do our layers probably middle of summer.
Yeah, because I think we'll get the new birds, and they're not laying hardly anymore. I don't even know. I got maybe one large egg yesterday or over the weekend. Yeah. None today, so I think they're just eaters now.
There's no freeloaders at this house.
Yeah. So we'll get new chicks in August.
Yep.
And then go from there.
The girls will love it because they get to go pick out whatever they want this time.
Yeah, we get to go do the mixture.
Yep.
Of different chicks.
That has been a great hack to know who's who.
It is, yeah.
So we know the Wyandottes are the old birds, and everybody else.
We do need to mark mama bunnies.
Yes.
Like this weekend.
Yes,
even if it's a black marker inside the ear or whatever you do.
Yeah.
Just because they're getting kind of big.
Yeah, they are. And it's amazing how quick they grow. Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably start trying to sex them too.
Yeah, because they'll be... God, what are they, like 6 weeks now? 7 weeks?
Well, yeah, they'll be 9 weeks for the event.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
So, they're somewhere around there.
We need to look for like a table, like a bar height table that's just round, that you could just set them down and we can look at them. Yeah. And then I know if we ever want a tattoo, and we have the tattoo gun, we haven't done it yet, but...
Yeah, I just gotta wrap them up in a blanket.
Towel, yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. See if we can get a metal bar height table to go out there.
Yeah, because I'd like to have one. It was nice having that one when I did the comfrey, just to kind of set them all out and clean them, and we'll have to look.
Yeah, we'll have to look around, because we got room on the one side of the rabbit hutch. Mm-hmm.
So. Even a wrought iron, like a little table or something. Yeah. You could put something over it so their feet...
Yeah, probably like a tile top, so they can't, like, grip and run away. Yeah. So that might be worth looking into. So...
Anyway, but yeah, the event is still going on. Yeah. Mother's Day weekend.
Yep. Tickets are still available.
Yep.
So I think I have the count at 17 people are coming.
Yeah, and pretty much everybody is camping.
That we know right now, yeah. So that'll be a heck of a party night. Yeah. So campers will start arriving on Friday. We start whenever we start Saturday morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really scheduled, so there's not like a be here by this time, you know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be set up the same way it was last year. We're just going to be here hanging out and shooting the breeze and having fun.
Yep. And eating.
Yeah. I mean, there's no set time for anything. Yep. There's no talks.
And this is just a mingling thing.
Right. So
just to get to know your people.
It's not a workshop. It's a meetup.
Yep.
But if we want to workshop some stuff out. I mean, we have the rabbits here. We have the chickens here.
You can still learn
We have
stuff.
the ham radio
It's not
stuff.
like you can't learn anything.
Right. So there's still opportunity if you want to come learn that stuff. And I'm sure Tim will talk about his stuff, too. If there's anything you want to learn from him.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you can bring something to trade or sell. We'll have a table for stuff.
Absolutely. So we should probably look into getting some new tables soon. Get the plastic ones, get rid of these wooden ones.
Yeah.
Have something a little bit lighter carrying down there.
Yep.
So, be something to think about. So, well, what else we got? Is that pretty much it?
That's it.
All right. Well, I think we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you on the homestead where something is always growing, eating, or cooking.